Yello, I'm Skid and welcome to episode 1 of my Elden Ring Let's Play series. This episode is going to double as a blind look at, which does mean that the start of this is going to include some amount of me looking over the options menu. Gonna have to do that at some point anyway, just to figure out what's where and to figure out what I can and can't change to get mouse and keyboard support to where I like playing it. But with regards to all of that, there will be timestamps in the video description, as well as, if it's working right, chapters in the what the hell do they call that bar? I've forgotten again. The Seek bar. There'll be chapters in that, so you can skip this stuff up until where we get to. So we'll be going through the options. I will go over in a little bit more detail the fix I'm using because Hayden updated it. We'll have a look at the character customization. I will do the character customization off camera, or I will record it and chop it out. Either way, you won't see it because that could take half an hour. I don't know how I'm feeling about that at the minute. We'll see. And then we'll get into the game. With regards to the Monster Hunter playthrough that no one's currently watching, I'm going to be moving that till Saturday until I have all of the 4-star quests done and I've done the 5-star urgent quest. And then it will go on hiatus until after Elden Ring is finished, so I can get it finished, or I can get high rank finished prior to Sunfall's release in the summer. So that is the plan. So with that in mind, let's push any button. Return is not a valid any button. Neither is shift. Neither is the number. Neither is hyphen, semicolon, L's not a valid key, backspace is not a valid key, space is not an any button, tab is not an any button. Okay, fine, I'll push E. I know he wanted me to push E. This is, god damn it, FromSoft. A little bit of effort. It already has a message at the very, very start of the game where it specifically says console. You needed to change one word in that fucking message to say computer. That's it. Anyway, we are offline, which means everything is working as it's supposed to be. So we are playing this offline. I have both of the fixes, or both of the things that are that we need to do to disable easy anti-cheat to get this fix to work. So I've renamed the files and I've blocked it on the firewall. Bear in mind that if you go with the rename the files, every time the game updates, you will need to rename the files again. Unless Hayden adds in a way to do that automatically, you will need to do that. So let's go through the system menu. So you remember I was saying in my other video that the mouse alignment on the main menu isn't quite right? That's what I mean. Okay, so let's see. So target auto lock on. Okay, good. It does say at the bottom what it does. Sets auto lock on to a new target, so that needs it to lock on first. Auto target automatically target an enemy when attacking with no lock. So that auto locks. That may get turned off. I don't know. One of the things I noticed while I was messing around for the quick look video, or the quick report video rather, was that if I was looking in one direction and running in another, my character would run in the direction I was pressing and attack in that direction, which is a little annoying. It's not something that I can't get around, but I would rather my character always tries to attack in the direction that the camera is looking, or basically automatically sidesteps if I am running sideways. Well, basically I want my character to face the camera, facing the direction of the camera at all times. But we'll see. Manual attack aiming. Allows for manual control over aiming of large weapons when locked on. Vibration control is not relevant. Basic camera controls, camera speed. I don't think this is mouse speed. Camera auto wall recovery, cinematic effects. Configure cinematic effects used during special attacks. I assume that's camera stuff. Display blood, subtitles, HUD auto. Configures how the in-game HUD is displayed. I didn't notice that part of the HUD disappeared just as I was going through and then appeared at other times, which isn't a bad thing. I just don't know whether or not I want it on permanently or not. Show tutorials. My monitors aren't HDR. So yeah, this is useful to know. The fact that it doesn't auto-detect this and you have to go into the options and specifically find it, and it's in sound and displays of all places, rather than in any of the control menus. Keyboard and mouse view, please, thank you. We don't know how the audio levels are going to be, we'll figure that out later. Yes, this is already turned off. That is not relevant. Okay, so mouse sensitivity is, whoa, 10 already? They did say they changed it, so maybe they just changed the range, and because I've already had it saved, it was the same. We'll tweak around with that once we get in game. Bindings, we can rebind them. The problem is going to be backstep, roll, and dash are all on space. I have a shift key. Can I not have dash on shift? Please. Is that really too much to ask? Separate out some of these things. Crouch and stand is X. Jump is F. Oh yeah, I remember, because yeah, space is everything else. Movement control, Alt. I have no idea what that's supposed to mean. Standard movement keys. Movement change targets. Reset camera, lock on. So lock on is Q. I may change that to T. Oh, middle mouse button is lock on as well. That might be alright. Switch left hand armament, switch right hand armament. I might change these because I have other buttons I could use. But it does need shift and up and down. But yeah, we may tweak this. Switch sorcery and incantation. I may use these, or mouse wheel up and down for these, because that makes more sense. So yeah, let's go up for sorcery, down for switch items, right hand armament, left hand armament. I may change these to thumb buttons, in fact, yeah, because... hang on. Can it not use the number book keys? I can't bind it to the number keys. Okay, so that's annoying. Oh wait, no, it's here, binding mouse. And because these are... what are they called? G keys, what are they? Programmable keys. They're actually giving keyboard inputs. So, in theory, we can go 7, 8. Other way around. That one wants to be 8. That one wants to be 7 for left and right. Attack. Right hand and two-handed weapons. Strong attack is shift and left mouse button. Guard is right mouse button. Skill is shift and right mouse button. Let's see. Yeah, I'm okay with these. I might add skill to 1. Use item R. It might be worth me changing jump. I wouldn't mind changing some of these keys to be the same as I'm using in Monster Hunter, which would mean use item should be E, and F would become actions and events, and then I'd need to move jump to something else like V, which puts it just above the spacebar. We'll see. Okay. So there's less controls here than I was expecting. There isn't actually that much duplication. It just would have been nice if dash was its own thing. Yeah, shift left mouse button. Okay. Oops. Okay, so go back from here is Q. Okay, so we're running this in borderless Windows. So the fix that we are using flawless widescreen. I'm just going to tab over to it so I can read the list. So, It provides an aspect ratio fix. It provides a resolution fix if you're in Windows mode. It allows for a field of view adjustment if you would like to. It adjusts the frame timing. This basically means that I'm having it running at 444 frames per second. You can also adjust the vignetting effect. I have turned it off because it looks horrible on this wider monitor. It actually doesn't look bad if you have it on a lower setting, but I'm not really a fan of the effect in general, so I just turned it off. He's also fixed the fact that the 60 frames per second hurt on full screen mode, that you couldn't get it to go above 60 frames per second if you had it in full screen mode. He has fixed that. I'm going to leave this in borderless widescreen because I've got nothing that requires me to be in full screen. I believe if you're using HDR, you need to be in full screen mode for this game to detect it, which is a little weird, but it may be an engine limitation. And also, there was an issue whereby any effects that rendered on this monitor over here, or the right and the left monitor, so this one and this one, any effects that rendered over there, not effects, sorry, characters that were rendering over there, models, actors, they're, what's the phrasing for it? The frames per second the animation was being displayed at was really, really low, because it wasn't expecting them, or the game wasn't expecting them to be visible, because it was hard-coded for 16:9, because, I don't know, FromSoft, Japanese developers, blame whatever you like. Either way, it wasn't designed for that, so it doesn't work. So yeah, all of those things are now part of the fix. So hopefully all will be good. We're probably going to be needing to change the quality settings at some point. These are the settings we have it set to at the minute. Depth of field is off because I don't like it. Motion blur is off because motion blur. Everything else is currently on high. They go up to maximum, I think, is the highest level. I'm running a 2080 Ti. We're obviously running at 3 times 1080p. So we are 1080p off 4K resolution in terms of just pixel displays, or pixels being displayed, which is kind of the important metric. And yeah, everything else is set to high. I've not done any of the other optimization tweaks that I've seen online. We're going to run it first, and then we'll see how this all goes, and if we're getting stuttering and it's like low frame rates or frame rates below 60 for any length of time, I will start tweaking things probably between this episode and next. Okay, so we have gone through the menu, all 12 minutes of this episode. So we're going to start a new game, if it will let us. Hopefully this will overwrite the existing game. Okay. I'm hoping it will display the grammar settings again before we get in. So, show stats. Ah, there we go. We can just see the information here now. Good. Okay. I wasn't sure where it was. What's G tell us? View controls. Not helpful. G, explanation. Oh, it's given us information. This little too soon to be having this information here. We can probably intuit that anyway. Okay, so I want to go Battle Mage, Spell Sword, whatever you want to call it. I want to go Dex-based magic build. So primarily using a sword, but has reasonable options for spells. Presumably arcane spells, because that's the way I normally run. Interestingly, there is Faith and Arcane that are separate. So let's see. Hero has Strength, Endurance, and Arcane. Starts with an axe. Bandit is Mind, Endurance, Dexterity, Arcane. Starting Bandit might be the way to go. Although it does look like we're starting with, that's a scimitar, I think, and a bow. This one may just be the obvious answer, Dexterity and Intelligence. Ah, this one actually starts with what looks like a staff. I don't know whether or not that's required to cast spells, but the ability to cast spells immediately is kind of one idea. Prophet is faith-based. I wonder if Arcane is the replacement for what it used to be called, Hexes? Hexes was the spell type, but it scaled off something else. Did it scale up intelligence and faith? I forget. We have samurai, prisoner, confessor. So that's your faith-based build. And wretch. Because we're going non-standard build, I am tempted just to start as wretch. It does mean that we probably won't have access to spells for a while. It will make the start of the game harder. I don't mind this. Let's start wretch. Cycles all the way around. Okay, body type A. So, age young, mature, aged. Let's go mature. I am 30 odd, I can't exactly call myself young anymore. Origin wretch, keepsake. A medallion inlaid with a crimson amber increases max HP. A gold grace shining in the eyes of the people of the lands between. Used to gain many runes, which I'm assuming is souls. Golden seed. Golden seed washes assured from the land between. Said to reinforce sacred flasks. So that's an early healing item upgrade. The ashes of a small diminutive golem, or golems. Ashes are said to hold the spirits within. Three strange cracked pots that somehow mend themselves. A container for certain thrown items. Stone sword key. Two stone keys shaped like swords. Breaks the seal on imp statues, but can only be used once. Without specifically knowing, it's like in advance what they're used for, that's kind of a dice roll. 5 sacred branches charged with beguiling power, said to originate from the demigod Miquelin. Boiled prawn. 5 pieces of boiled prawn, boost physical damage and negates. A crazy likeness of a noble whose eyes have been gouged out. Attracts enemy aggression. No, definitely not. Golden seed seems like a pretty good, reasonable starting item. Just like as a general item, without knowing what, also the specifics of like what runes actually are. Because now I've seen ashes, I kind of wait, is ashes the currency? 3 strange cracked pots. I think we'll get the cracked pots. Because I want to try and actually use my damn consumables. As is always the problem in games like this, using consumables is something people tend not to do. They meant to save them for those important occasions when you're actually going to need them, and now is not the right time. Now is never the right time, they never get used. So we'll try to basically use them all. We will probably fail. Okay, choose base template, detail appearance. Warrior, Truth Seeker. Night Folk. Draconian. Reedlander. Seafarer. Northerner. Loner. Aristocrat. Truth Seeker. Warrior. Let's have a look at the detail options. Okay, if I've selected a mature, it'd be nice if you auto-selected. You're not going to give me a sample? Come on! How could... It's standard in this day and age that if you have a changeable voice, you give the player a way to hear the voice. Sample, it's there. Is it... Rather than actually when you click the button it gives you it, there's a button indication down below. I think he died. Those young voices don't actually sound that young. Yeah, let's stick with that one. So skin color. Let's actually have a look at all these options here. Oh, this is nice. I'm glad they added this. I don't think they had this previously. So skin color is select from a range. And presumably you press the button to select. Oh no, you can make some monstrosities in this. Alright, that must be... Yeah, that's where you were, so that's why it started on. Okay, interesting. Full colour assortment. Face template. Bone structure. Can't remember, right mouse button's not back. Apparent age, 205. Oh, okay, I see. It's just going to max byte value, and they've just listed it as the byte value. Yes. Okay. Oh shit. This is bad. There's a lot of stuff in here. And that's just one of these options in an option in an option. This is too many options. That kind of makes things easy for me. I can't be asked to make this kind of fine adjustment. And that was just face structure. Hair colour. Eyebrows, eyebrow colours. Okay, so there's a lot less in here. Is there one just for body? Yep, there's one for body. Okay, not too many options in there. Okay, so I will throw something together. I will probably grab a template, I will tweak the template slightly, and then leave it at that. There's way too many options for me to want to actually fine-tune half of that. Particularly given the fact that I'm probably going to be wearing some kind of helmet that's hiding most of my head. But anyway, we'll go through this, we'll be right back, we'll see you in a second. Okay, that'll do. There's way too many options, I cannot be bothered to go through them to get a proper character on, and besides, half of this stuff is going to get disappeared underneath armor anyway. So let's give us a name. Original name, I know. And let's get into this. Starting the game with this character, is that okay? Actually, no, not just yet. Now we go. We gonna get the brightness thing?
The fallen leaves tell a story. The great Elden Ring was shattered. In our home, across the fog, the lands between.
How is that?
Now, Queen Marika the Eternal is nowhere to be found. And in the night of the Black Knives, Godwyn the Golden was first to perish. Soon, Marika's offspring, demigods all, claimed the shards of the Elden Ring. The mad taint of their newfound strength triggered the shattering. a war from which no lord arose. A war leading to abandonment by the greater will. Oh, rise now, ye tarnished, ye dead who yet live. The call of long-lost grace speaks to us all. Horalu, chieftain of the Badlands, the ever-brilliant Gold Mask. Fear, the deathbed companion, the loathsome dung-eater, and Sir Gideon Ofnir, the all-knowing.
So it seems like pre-rendered cutscreens are stretched.
And one other, whom grace would again bless. A tarnished of no renown. Cross the fog to the lands between, to stand before the Elden Ring and become the Elden Lord.
Yes, sir, voice in my head, will do, sir. New The Ring. Oh yeah, because I do like this. Not that it's going to be at all relevant in this playthrough, but I do like that the gestures are here and I can just click one. Whereas in every other game it was a menu within a menu, or you would have to have a specific button assigned to bring it up, which I could never remember. Okay, this is me. Or this is my approximation of me. It will have to do. It's pillage remains. We need to pillage remains anyway, because we need this finger to open the door. If it wasn't apparent that I had done this section before, you should have watched my previous video. I needed to get somewhere. Okay, so it has not given me... frames per second, this is good. It has not given me the option for gamma. Where did it hide it? Adjust brightness. Okay, so when I recorded my videos for Friday, oh well, it was actually Thursday night and Friday, I looked at this and it says, okay, adjust the brightness until the image on the right is barely visible. I can still see the image on the right. So I had it on this setting, which out here looks reasonable. But once I got into a darker location, it looked less reasonable. And obviously YouTube compression does not deal with dark things particularly well. So we're going to give it like a 2 or a 3. Let's give it a 2. And hopefully that works for everyone. Okay, so yeah, it's space is sprint, space is roll, Q is technically lock on. I don't believe there's anything over here. I can still roll through barrels. All the good things. Swing, swing, heavy swing. This doesn't open. There does appear to be some degree of inconsistency in the frames, but... or the frame rate. It doesn't feel 60 frames per second. But it doesn't look too bad. So as far as I'm aware, this bridge isn't going to do anything. The danger is in there. That's where we meet the usual, this monster is going to kill you now. Get used to it. Okay, that camera is too slow. Keyboard, mouse sensitivity. Let's put it up to 7. It feels a bit better. An F is jump, isn't it? Yeah, I'm definitely feeling some random frame stutters, so we'll have to have a look around. 1 second, I did open up a tool to keep an eye on this sort of thing. But unfortunately, I chose a poor tool. I chose OCCT because it had prettier graphs. But it keeps coming up, hey, join the Patreon, join the Patreon, join the Patreon. We're going to hide the thing you actually want, and we're going to tell you to join the Patreon every 10 minutes. Okay. Come down from wherever thou art. Kick my ass. Oh. Let's actually lock on. Oh, we're not dead yet. We have health, we just have no way to heal. Yeah, good luck fighting that if you've never seen it before, when it can 2-hit you. Does this count as death 1 if it doesn't tell me that you died?
Don't worry, Torrent. Fortune is on his side. We found him here, after all. One of his kind is sure to seek the Elden Ring. Even if it does violate the Golden Order.
Did we die? Does it count? Do I have to put a counter on? I do want to keep track of deaths one way or another. In fact, I'm probably going to chapter things based upon when I die. But I haven't done the work to actually have a counter other than to like just displaying a number on the screen, which I'd like to do something a little bit more than that. I'll figure out something in editing, or I may just do something lazy and temporary for the time being. Flask of Crimson Tears. Can you tell me what that is now? Probably not. Okay. Flask of Cerulean Tears. There's an item up there. Okay, it is just a button. It's basically just the use button, the interact button. Yeah, we have all our health. What items did we have? Nothing. We have a whole lot of nothing. That's spells, and then that's swapping between our flasks. Read message. The cave of knowledge lies below. Oh, is that... So, I never actually talked to this guy. If I had to guess, just from that text there, tutorial is that way. Game is that way. ... Brave Tarnish, take the plunge of learning and remembrance. Recall the arts of war and your warrior's blood. Yeah. Tutorial. Game. We need more gear. We're going to do the tutorial anyway, just in case they've changed something. Just because he wants me to take the plunge doesn't mean I have to take it in a dangerous fashion. See? No damage at all. A little bit of care is all it takes. Sites of Grace. Resting at a Site of Grace will restore your HP, FP, and cleanse any status element. Okay, so that's like every 2 minutes that thing is going to prompt me to go to its Patreon. 1 second, let me just close that down because that is annoying as all hell and it can fuck off. It's not being helpful. What was it? It will also refill your sacred flasks. However, most of the enemies you defeated will be revived. If you find Sites of Grace, you can find Sites of Grace by going where lights converges. These explanations are acquired in the form of info items that can be accessed from your inventory at any time. I'm fairly sure I didn't press the left map button, but okay. Lost Grace discovered. Rest of the Site of Grace. Past time, flasks, memorize spells. We probably don't have any. With the memorize spells menu, you can memorize sorceries and incantations. You must have a staff equipped to cast sorceries, or sacred seal equipped to cast incantations. Casting sorceries and incantations consumes FP. Your memory slots determine the number of sorceries and incantations you can memorize. You can increase your memory slot by obtaining a memory stone. Okay, so it's not tied to your intelligence anymore. But we do not have any. Sort chest. With this menu, you can place items that you are carrying into a chest for storage, or take stored items out of the chest. So yeah, this is just storage. If you are already carrying the maximum number of items when you pick up a new item, it will be stored in the chest automatically. There's a carry limit. Memory of Grace. Lose all runes and return to the last site. Okay, yeah. So runes are the currency. Flask, I imagine, add charge to flask, which we can't do because we didn't get the item that allowed us to do it at the start. We'll eventually be able to. Increase amount replenished by flask. So that's adding +1 to the flask. Use a sacred tier, which we don't have. Allocate flask charges. And this menu, you can allocate the number of uses in each of your flasks. You have a set total maximum flask uses. You can decide how many of those uses are for HP replenishing flasks of Crimson Tier, and how many are for the FP replenishing flasks of Cerulean Tiers. Because we don't have a staff or sorceries, early day, so the time of day is there. Past time, memorize spells, flasks. Okay, that's all of that. Let's continue on. You look like an enemy. Press Q to target okay. Doesn't look like side strafing is any slower or faster than that? Attack. Left mouse button. How do I, Yeah, no, that's not what we was looking for. Oh, hello. Use an armament in your left or use an armament in your left hand or both hands to guard against incoming attacks. Guard is especially effective when done with shields. Guarding consumes stamina. If your stamina runs out, your stance will be broken. So how do we two-hand this? I think it's... Hold that button? No. 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 Or we can punch him. How do we two-hand? I assume this club doesn't have a skill. Oh, this club does have a skill. Ah, the skill consumed FP. I think both of those are more or less the same. Dodging. You can avoid any attacks by or with a dodge roll or a backstep. Both of these actions consume stamina. W plus RCP. Oh, yeah, that works. I assume we need to be locked on. And punch. Punch doesn't do much. How do we two-hand? Hold the button. E. There we go. That did it. Hold E and press. Left or mouse button. Right mouse button. How do I pick which one of those items I want to use? Oh god, no, that's just... No, 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 no. Can I change that? Because that's dog shit. Put simply, we can't change it. Basically E and then one of these. One of these is how you select it, which means mouse up, mouse down, mouse left or right. That is going to be cumbersome in a fight. So maybe we change things. Maybe we change this to 1, 2, 3, 4. Because... And then leave these as they are. Maybe change these two to 8. Oh no, we can't change these two to 8, can we? Yeah, change these to 1, 2, 3, 4. Put skill on 8. Or skill on 7, so that puts skill underneath my thumb. Okay. Now that works better because, yeah. Okay, that'll do. That works. Shift is not run. I don't like F being jump, but I don't know what else I can put it on. Oh, hello. I had a feeling that they was probably gatherable. In every corner of the land between, you will find fruits, flowers, mushrooms, and butterflies, and various other useful materials. These materials can be used for item crafting. Can you really hit me up there? You just drew your sword, no? You just... Wielding an armament. Each hand can be equipped with up to 3 armaments, allowing you to toggle between them. Armaments can also be two-handed, making attacks more difficult to repel with shields, and boosting the effective strength by 50%. Yes, we already figured all of that out. If in doubt, just keep hitting him till he dies. I don't think he was programmed to attack, so I don't think that was something I needed to worry about. Okay, that's a little awkward, but that's not a terrible thing. Hey, I can actually now block with this. How effective is blocking with it? A little. There might be items in these, you don't know. You can't tell me. I haven't played this game yet. They like hiding items in these. Barbaric Roar. Oh, so that's my skill. Okay, camera. Would you not do that, please? So while I was running this way, the camera was trying to lock my view. I couldn't look past this. It was making it difficult for me. I'd appreciate it. Helps if I lock on. Down you go. I'm not coming with you. At least not at the minute. Can I do a plunge attack? Did you die? Shall we try a plunge attack? Overkill, I know, but I want to experiment. It's down there somewhere. There he is. Now he's directly under me again. I need you to stop walking left and right and come out from under there. How am I supposed to learn how to plunge? How did that do no damage to me? Oh, there we go. That's how you back attack. You just standard left mouse button while standing directly behind. Nice and simple. Did we take any damage from the fall? We took no damage from that fall. Interesting. I would have expected that fall to have dealt damage to me. We are learning. I still need to decide whether or not that first kill or that first fight counts as a death. I'm going to say no, because it didn't give me the "you died" message. Armaments have special abilities called skills. Skills are highly varied and range from powerful attacks to temporary effects. Using skills consumes FP. And we know that our skill is Barbaric Roar. And Smack. You know, one of you could drop a sword. I wouldn't be opposed to you giving me a weapon better than a club. Crouching. Crouching makes it harder for enemies to discover you, especially effective in tall grass. Attacking enemies that haven't noticed you causes more damage than usual. Press X to crouch and stand up. Are we using C for anything? Can control be bound to anything? How many of these keys have we changed the binding of? We can assign it to control. Excellent. It is, however, a toggle key. We'll need to remember that. So are we supposed to sneak up behind this guy? That does seem a little bit loud. I'll have to check the voice or the audio balancing once we get into editing. Let's crouch down again. Yeah, but we need him to be nearby, and he's not. He's wandering away. Is he going to turn around? Bet you anything he turns around. How long is he going to take to turn around? Don't mind the rustling behind you. Hey, let me through. I can fit through there, look. You see? We can fit through here. I bet you anything this is the first thing speedrunners have been trying to do. How do we get through here? Can we get through here? Can we glitch through this? We can't get through there. We need to be able to lie down to get through there. Stance breaking. Some attacks may break an enemy's stance, giving you a chance to perform a critical hit. Charge attacks and jumping attacks make it particularly easy to break an enemy stance. Hold shift and press... Hang on a second. Hold shift. Ah yeah, shift and left mouse button for a charged attack. Shift and left mouse button while jumping for... That is not a easy thing to do. So, jump. The problem is they're using shift for other things. I wouldn't mind swapping that to shift, even though now having dodge on space is fine. I would rather have run on shift. The issue is more like jump being F. It's not intuitive to me, but it makes sense it being there because it's literally right next to my buttons. Upon dying, you'll be revived at the last site of grace you visited. However, if there is a stake of marker nearby when you die, you can choose to be revived there instead. So we can be revived here if we die, which means there is probably a boss in here. Soldier of Godric. You can perform a counterattack immediately after blocking an enemy attack. I don't have a shield or something that can block strong enough. Guard counters make it easy to break an enemy's stance. Shift left mouse button immediately after blocking attack to guard counter. Well, let's try it. That wasn't too bad. Enemy felled. I mean, as far as bosses go, that has got to be the weakest Dark Souls boss I have ever fought. Hey, if I am rolling here, can I clean the blood off me? No? Can we not clean the blood off me in this clean water? If I crouch, can I not clean the blood off my head? No, we can't. How about some clothes? Can we get some clothes? Can we get anything? Any item at all? That was one of the reasons I came through this tutorial. The hope of items. Items! There's another one over there, though. How do we get to that one? I mean, invisible walls are going to be a thing, but... I honestly never got the hang of invisible walls. Do you activate them? Do you use them? Do you hit them? I forget which way you're supposed to reveal them. But we're not going to have the community's help in finding them, which is fine. Pillage remains. Strength. Thank you for the useless item in a single player game with offline, or we're playing offline. So yeah, that item up there. That item up there. only I had a torch. We shouldn't hang around the dark too long. We don't want to anger the YouTube algorithm. Not the YouTube algorithm, rather the YouTube encoder. Oh wait, why am I holding E? Press E. You know, there's no reason not to two-hand this that I can think of. Ooh. Remains. Touch grace. I've gone all dizzy for some reason. Well, we can't get through here yet. Ah, so this is what the stone sword keys are for. This is why you'd want to start with one. If you start with one, you can just skip this bit. Village remains. Used tarnished furled fingers to write a gold summon sign. Cooperative multiplayer will begin once you have been summoned by a player from another world. You will take the role of an ally, a furled fingered, and your objective is to defeat the area boss. The compass at the top of the screen indicates the direction of the summoner, host fingers. The host fingers. Why is everything fingers? Tarnished filled fingers. It gave me something else. What was the other item? The inventory is a menu. You can browse the items you are carrying, drop them on the ground and throw them away. You can also use tools from the inventory menu. R shows a larger image and explanation. F toggles the character data. Wrong button. Wrong button. Tarnished wizened finger. Used to write a message to other worlds. Tarnished furled fingers. Creates a summon sign for cooperative players. Send another or oneself home. Finger severer. Interesting. We'll have a look at stats later when we can actually level up, which I don't think we can do at the minute. We'll rest. We'll end in a second, rest into that. Let's just have a quick look through the remainder of these menus. With the equipment menu, you can equip armaments, arrows, bolts, armor, talismans, and items. You can equip up to 3 armaments in each your left and right hand. The action of each armament performed will vary based upon which hand is wielding it. We do have equipment load still. There is light load here, so that'll presumably affects our dodge rolls. I'm assuming that this here is our seal, or whatever is going to be the equivalent of covenants. Maybe? Talisman 1? I assume talismans are going to be equivalent of rings? Maybe? These are equipped items? I wonder if that means that you can equip items to quick slots. Switch view, right. Okay, yep. Simple view. Remove, okay. If I go back to inventory, we can't craft items yet. Switch display, mid. Scroll, simple view. I'm wondering how you bind items to select, use, leave, discard. I'm wondering how you bind items to that menu. Because there's got to be a way of doing it, but I didn't see it in equipment. Oh, wait, it's there. Pouch. So how do we assign things to our pouch? F, switch. There we go. Okay. So we know how that works. Stats, we won't worry about it for the time being. Stats menu, you can check the level, attributes, base stats, and more. Information shown here also reflects changes in your attack, defense, and resistances bestowed by armaments and armor you have equipped. And assume menu's just the menu. Okay. Let's just make sure Past time, flasks. Yep. So, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the show. We'll leave it there for today. Give us about an hour-long episode. We'll be doing this 5 days a week, Monday to Friday. We'll be having a new episode. I try to make sure the episodes are between 30 minutes and an hour. A game like this is going to be a little bit easier for me to theoretically keep in that time zone. Because if nothing else, if I'm on my way to somewhere and I check the time and it's like 55 minutes, I can just say, okay, well, we'll end it here. Whereas like Monster Hunter, if I'm in the middle of a hunt, I can't very well hold the episode there. I have to finish the hunt. But yeah, we shall leave it here for now. We'll come back. We'll start getting through this first area tomorrow. So again, hopefully you enjoy the show, and hopefully I will see you next time. Cheerio.